So I was in America and I was living at some Taiwanese woman's house, and she has a daughter as well in a wheelchair, and I was living in her backyard in a tent because Americans were doing chemicals as usual, right? I mean, just have to destroy their bodies and mine. But anyway, so I moved out of the house and I moved into a tent outside in the middle of the summer, and it was like, Phoenix, Arizona, so it was hot. Um, for anybody that doesn't know, that's the desert, possibly considered a desert. I don't know if it's a desert actually, because the weather in that land is all messed up. But it was hot, and I was uh you know watering. I was like, I was living in a tent. I was watering some of the plants in the backyard. um there was a patch of plants that had died. It seemed like it had died. It was all withered and everything from the sun, and I started watering it and started living again. I started becoming green and living again. It was amazing. And but so I covered the plants with blankets, and one of the days I saw a snake that was like 3.5 foot snake. Well, I don't know, 3 foot snake or something like that, or 3.5 foot. So probably 3.5 foot snake, and it is like close to my hand. It ran away from me. Went away from me. But you know, and so another day I saw the snake again, and it went underneath another blanket, and there was a frog that I saw that went underneath the same blanket I just saw. I had seen the snake on. I was like, no, I don't want that frog to die. So, but I didn't want to touch the blankets because they had chemicals all over them. So I was left initially, and then I went back and said, no, I'm not gonna let this frog die. So I went back and I started watering underneath the blankets, to see if I could. So anyway, I was being a bitch. I should have just pulled the blankets up, but I was messed up by chemicals. But anyway, the frog came out and charged my leg, all pissed, all upset. And I say, be like the frog. Everybody deserves a home. Everybody deserves everything. Thank you. Bye.